Alright, gamers and gamettes, hear me out, hear me out. The Nintendo Switch 2, we have looks at it, we know the features, we got the price, we got the pre-order date, we got the release date, and I know the pricing of the console and games are bothering a lot of people, which is completely understandable, completely reasonable. Disclaimer, my video is not here to support the pricing Nintendo's doing, alright? If I had it my way, I would whisper in Nintendo's ear, hey, knock those game retail prices down. But, I obviously can't do that. Gamers and gamettes, what is going on? My name is Tanek127, and welcome back to another video. And guys, in today's video, I want to talk to y'all about the Switch 2 and just have a little bit of a conversation here. If you want to stay up to date on all things Switch, make sure you're liking today's video, subscribing to the channel if you are new, and let's go ahead and get on into today's subject. So, the Switch 2 has finally been announced. Enjoy the gameplay in the background, by the way. This is Dust Bloods, an upcoming From Software game exclusively coming to Switch 2 in 2026. Just replaying the trailer here in the background while we have this discussion. Now, you can pre-order the Nintendo Switch 2 from retailers starting on April 9th. That means places like Walmart, Best Buy, etc., etc., etc. Anywhere that sells game consoles, you'll be able to pre-order from starting April 9th. So make sure you line up at your favorite store to, do those pre-orders in person, online, or whatever. I always do mine in person. That's how I got the Xbox Series S day one, avoiding the scalpers and everything like that. You get up early, you get your coffee, you just go and stand in line. That's it. If you happen to be the first guy there, guess what? You have nothing to worry about except standing there for a few hours. Like, literally, that's the advice. But the biggest concern is the price of the Switch 2. So the console itself, without any type of special edition pack or anything, is $449.99. It's $450. Does this pricing surprise me at all? No. Hello. Have you guys seen the PlayStation 5 Pro? Alright, no. I was not shocked at this pricing one bit. The day they announced the Switch 2, I said to myself, this console is going to be between $400 or $500. The previous one was $300. This one's a step up. It's clearly going to be higher in price. I knew that from the jump. I think we all knew that from the jump. However, games are being showcased to range anywhere between $70, $80, and $90. I do know their new Mario Kart is starting at like $80, and some of their exclusives and things like that. And I know that's really annoying a lot of people. And trust me, I get it. The console's already $450. And then, if you want to get the biggest Mario Kart they've ever made, that's another $80. And, if you buy a bunch of accessories, it easily adds up to $1,000 real quick if you decide you want to go ham on a Switch 2 day one. Now, me personally, I'm grabbing it, a memory card, and maybe one of the remastered games. I'm calling it a day. But that's just me. All right, but guys, when it comes to the pricing of the Switch 2 and everything, hear me out. Okay? And this is, some of the stuff I want you guys to think about. Now, like I said in the beginning of my video, in a perfect world, I wish the prices would go back down. I wish games would go back to, their $40, $50, and $60 days, and we can just, call it a day. But clearly, that's not going to happen. Game development and stuff like that is getting more and more expensive. You guys know the drill. I'm not even going to explain all of that to you. If you're into gaming, you know this already. I think the Switch 2, especially for a lot of people, whether you're a hardcore console gamer or, just a casual console gamer, I think it's a very smart investment, especially right now. Let me explain. So right now we are in the mid-life cycle. I'm not even going to say mid-life cycle because according to PlayStation and Xbox, both of their new consoles are going to be here by 2027. So mid-life cycle would have been around 2023, 2024. We're almost halfway through 2025. It's April already. All right, 2026 is 8 months away. And these consoles are said to supposedly be coming out 2027. I would say 2027, 2028 at the latest. All right, y'all have already seen the PS5 Pro. It is $699.99. You are fooling yourself if you think a PlayStation 6 is going to be cheaper than a PS5 Pro. Microsoft, all the rumors surrounding them with their next Xbox. The next Xbox is already almost damn near confirmed to be a console PC hybrid. Let me ask y'all something. Have you guys ever bothered looking up any of the videos before that ask you, that say, how much is it to build a PC that's as powerful as the PlayStation 5 or the Xbox Series X? All right, can you build a PC that powerful for that amount of money? Most of the time when people do these videos, the PC ends up costing anywhere between $700 to $1,000. And these consoles are right now in the $400 and $500 range. All right? You mean to tell me with the PS5 Pro being $700 and Microsoft building a even more powerful Xbox than the Series X that is supposedly going to be a gaming PC hybrid, you mean to tell me that these next consoles are going to be cheap? Yeah, no, they're not. Are they going to take some type of hit to make the console prices reasonable for their specs? Yeah, probably, but realistically, I think we can safely assume that the next consoles will probably be anywhere between $600 to $1,000, depending on what they're capable of or how they do. That's just what I'm thinking. Now, then again, I could be completely wrong. Microsoft and Sony could end up surprising us, and they could surprise us with pricing the way PlayStation did with the PS4 at $399. That very well could happen. And hey, if this video ages badly and I'm wrong, I will gladly make a video saying I was wrong. But you can invest in Nintendo's next generation right now for $450. You can have a hybrid of a console and handheld that does 4K 60, 1080p 120 for $450. A console that does pretty much what the Steam Deck and the other PC handhelds do, and has Nintendo exclusives on it for $450. There are media right now showing Metroid Prime 4 running at 4K 60 and 1080p 120 on this thing. And you don't think that's worth $450. But when PlayStation showed Gran Turismo 5 or Gran Turismo, whichever one's out now, God, at 1080p 120 for $500 on PS5, or maybe even 4K 120 on PS5 Pro for $700, that's worth it to you. Even though the PS5 Pro will almost be useless here in a couple years. You saw how long Nintendo prolonged the original Switch's life cycle, and that console was severely underpowered. We got over 7 years out of that thing, and it still has games coming out. Now we have a Switch that's, actually up to par with things. I'm not going to say it's as powerful as the PS5 or Series X, but it's definitely a blend between last gen and current gen. It looks better than a PS4 and an Xbox One, but it doesn't look as good as a PS5 or Series X. I'm just saying, guys, I know the game prices are ridiculous. I know the price for $450 for a Switch seems out there, but Nintendo are clearly boasting this bad boy's power and showing what it can do. Alright, y'all saw how powerful people thought of the PlayStation 4 when that first launched. That's one reason the people at Bloodborne, they made their, From Software, they made their quote about Bloodborne. Bloodborne could only be done on PS4 because of Mark Cerny's blah, 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 blah tech. I know you guys remember that article. Alright? It's like Nintendo's doing their PS4. In so many words. But it just happens to be with the next generation. Nintendo have a cutting-edge, decent quality console and handheld hybrid that's coming out for the next generation, and it's starting at $450. I'm just saying, when you think about it, right, and just think about how things are going to be for the next consoles 2 or 3 years from now, right? I don't want y'all to think about today. I want y'all to think about 3 years from now. All right? You could be watching, if you buy a Switch 2 today, all right, you could be watching Summer Games Fest 3 years from now, watching all the third-party games come out on the PlayStation 6, the Xbox hybrid, whatever, and Switch 2. If you got a Switch 2, you're already in that generation. And all you did was pay $450 3 years ago. That's how I want you guys to look at it, or just try to. Like I said, I'm not knocking, the high prices of the games or anything like that. I see all that. I get it, and I'll tell you straight, it's ridiculous. But I'm just saying, you got an opportunity to jump into the next gen market now at a low price point. Why not do it? Am I going to do it? Hell yeah. I'm waiting for pre-order day. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. Anyway, y'all enjoyed today's video? Smash that like. I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace out. Have a good one.